Hello, my name is Chad Miller, and welcome to my dissociative identity disorder. I guess to kind of kick things off, things have been really crazy as of late. There's been a lot of circumstances that are just far too lengthy to get into, and switching has become a lot more prevalent and frequent, and there's been chaos in the system, and it's been troublesome. It's been difficult on both myself and my husband, and so I kind of took a step back and realized that the anxiety and depression medications that I've been on that had been working were perhaps not working so much any longer. So I also decided that I was going to go back to my therapist, and she and I worked through a lot of the trauma before, as far as with my PTSD and issues like that, and it helped quite a bit. And so I figured right now my biggest causes of switching were heightened levels of emotion, stress, anxiety, and depression. And where I go to see her, they are now kind of like integrating therapy with psychiatrists, and working closely together. So so it's a step in the right direction. So that's a good thing. However, something really bizarre has taken place as of late, and I experienced something kind of like this before, but not to the extent that it is currently happening, or has happened thus far. There's something called co-consciousness, where the host, namely me, sort of cohabitates at the same time as an alter. It briefly happened once, and I honestly can't tell you what that event was. But recently, my husband and I shared this room. Part of it is his office space. He works from home, and the rest of it is my studio space for Red and Slim Productions, also Phoenix Red Fire Art. And he woke up one morning to come into work, into the office, and there I was playing with some of my collection. In case you don't watch any of my other videos on this channel, I am a pop culture junkie. I collect action figures, memorabilia, things like that. So what I collect isn't playthings. It's, I mean, some things I've had for 20 plus years. Some are older. So it's not anything that's rough and tumble. So there's a new altar. And this new altar had a little play set up, and there was two rival groups, and they were bombing each other. Thankfully, nothing was broken or damaged in the process. However, he revealed that his name is Skylar, and he is 8 years old. So, that is, I believe, the newest one. I'm up to 12 altars now. They dwindled down a little bit for a while there. Some of the more dominant ones are still here, like Captain, Jared, Karis, Gordon. He's creating problems, but it is what it is. So, the other day at work, I work as a server at a restaurant, and I was preparing a dessert for a table, and I was having a discussion with some of the cooks behind the line about Marvel properties, and as I was preparing this dessert, all of a sudden Skylar came to me and was wanting this cheesecake that I was preparing. And I've switched at work before, and it wasn't like I was switching. It was kind of like we were cohabitating at the same time, and I was just, I kind of like, it was kind of like I zoned out to the rest of the world, but was having this discussion in my head that this cheesecake wasn't for him. And as I was coming back to reality, I noticed that my feet were stomping as if Skylar was having a tantrum, that he couldn't have the cheesecake. And I'm not sure if anybody saw that or how long that transpired. It was just really kind of freaky. So this co-consciousness sort of thing became a huge reality. So, what is today's date? Technically, sorry, I don't have my glasses on. Well, technically, it is the 12th. However, the 11th is the date that I'm actually on at the moment. So typically, honestly, yesterday would have been my grandmother's 92nd birthday, and she passed away a little over a year ago, and that is something that typically would trigger me to switch, because she was a vital part of my life, and her passing was very difficult for me. In fact, I went back to therapy after her passing, because it was so difficult for me to deal with. So I was sitting here in the studio when I was doing some painting, and Skylar fronted, went out into the living room and spoke with Derek, and wanted a snack, and decided on some cottage cheese, and expressed how he wanted to be adopted by us. And so Derek gave him cottage cheese as the snack, and had a little conversation with him, and Skylar played with the cats, or one of the cats, Oreo, who is therapy kitty, and then decided that it was time for bed. I was aware of this exchange. I'm not ever aware of switching with any of my other alters. It's blurry. It's not crystal clear. However, it's there in my head. Like, I understand what happened. So I had a really, really, really hard time trying to process this. Because Skylar also mentioned that it was his birthday. And it was my grandmother's birthday. So that's a little like, yeah. Hi. So this morning, I had a doctor appointment, nothing to do with, DID, just a regular doctor appointment, and I had to do some shopping, and I felt compelled to get Skylar something for his birthday. And I found something relatively cheap, and something that I think a 9-year-old boy would like. As a 9-year-old boy myself, I wasn't into that kind of stuff, but I don't know enough about Skylar to really understand what he likes or dislikes just yet. So I came home, and I hadn't said anything to Derek about the episode at work, or the fact that I was aware of the exchange that Skylar and he had the night before, because I was still processing it, and I didn't know how to bring it up. Derek is very understanding of my whole DID situation. So, I brought home the groceries, put them away, and Derek was working, and I had to make sure that he wasn't in a meeting or anything, And I said, hey, this stuff has happened, and I took it upon myself to buy Skylar a present and a birthday card, and he wants to be adopted by us. So I was just like, this sounds super, super weird, but is there any sort of way that you can create some sort of, even though it's going to be fake, formal adoption certificate for him? And so Derek was compliant, and we talked about it, and he seemed fine. He didn't seem weirded out. He actually kind of chastised me a little bit, because he said you should have talked to me about this as it happened, or when it happened. Because I internalize a lot of stuff. So, as I got things kind of put together for Skylar's present, I sat down and I had to start getting ready for work at some point. And Derek called me over to his computer desk, and he's like, how does this look? And I was like, you're already working on it? And he's like, well, yeah. And I was just kind of bowled over a little bit, because I was just like, he's taking this seriously. So it's mind-boggling. I don't know if Skylar tries to front again, if we're always going to be co-conscious. Oh, and I also got him cheesecake for his birthday. For whenever he's present again. So it's perplexing. I'm not sure really how to handle this. It's one thing to see one of my alters when they take to social media and go live, and then realize the next day that they have, and I have to, just kind of watch, and then I don't delete it, because to me it's a learning experience for other people about what DID is. Although at times I wish I could, because it's embarrassing. But it's a part of who I am. So yeah, so this is a whole different aspect of DID that I really don't know how to deal with. So I guess if there's anybody out there who has experience with co-consciousness. Leave me some thoughts in the comments, or opinions, advice, something. I'm at a loss for words about the situation. I've sort of adopted myself to a degree, and this is so unusual. And I think in the back of my head that there was a point in time in my life where I was baby hungry, like, and I was not in a place to be having a child. And in all honesty, I'm really still not in a place to have a child. But this child is also me. Well, yeah, I'm not even sure how to wrap my head around this at all. But yeah, so this is brand new to me. As I said, share your thoughts down below. If you have any advice or any experiences or whatnot, I would love to hear some feedback. And did I do the right thing with getting Skylar a present and having a fake adoption certificate made for him? This is what it is. Thank you for watching.